The Otter Estuary in Devon. On a misty winter's day, it looks like something out of Arthurian legend. But much of this magical place is new. It's home to thousands of overwintering birds drawing sustenance from the wetlands. And it's a home that's recently got a lot bigger. I'm Wedgwood Clarke, a poet and academic at nearby Exeter University. I know this place well. What's happening here is remarkable. Well worth a poem or two. The pines are a real, almost unchanging local landmark, but the estuary beneath has been transformed. 2 years ago, the tree-lined embankment that hemmed in the River Otter was deliberately breached, allowing seawater to flood much larger areas of farmland. Even the local cricket pitch is now a gigantic muddy bird table. Now that water ebbs and flows with the tide, creating new mud and marsh. It's not just about new habitat. It offers a softer, more adaptive response to climate change and rising seas than just building a concrete barrier. This huge body of water created by the breach is now home to feeding widgeon and teal. Under threat, they rely on estuaries like this for winter survival. Estuaries that are often also human settlements and under huge pressure. There's a long looped walk around the reserve, much used by the locals. What I love about this path is the way it hugs the water all around the reserve, so you can get really close to the birds. And if you feel tired or inspired, you can just stop and take it all in. A heron is immobile on the reeds in the lake. He's more selective than other birds here, carefully waiting for prey. While a pair of shelducks sit it out, roosting and saving precious calories. Our largest duck, they partner for life, nearly always seen in pairs. This teal duck is sifting through the water for grass seeds. It's in a newly created bit of marsh, once farmland. This doesn't flood with the tide every day. A different habitat from the new tidal mudflats where the grass has died. This duck has probably flown in from the Baltic. It needs to feed constantly to survive. They've kept vital features from the old embankment. These trees provide yet another habitat and food source. This tiny goldcrest, maybe our smallest bird, is gleaning every last grub from the bark. It has to. Being so small, it's very vulnerable in cold winters. What a wonderful place this is. The walls have come down and I am filled with light. I am clouds become strange in my flatness, a real mirage. Birds crash in and stir my heart with ripples. Toss it over themselves, pierce it softly as I drain, written out by water. My skin tattooed with trails that lift into clouds. This whole vast project is the product of partnership. Clinton Estates, who own the land, and the Environment Agency, who funded it with extra money from the EU's Interreg Fund. It's all helped by volunteers from the East Devon Pebblebed Heath Conservation Trust, who manage the reserve. They're tending to 10,000 new trees planted on an old disused landfill site that was, incredibly, placed right by the River Otter. All that effort is paying off. The estuary is now part of a King's National Nature Reserve, designated by Natural England, that takes in the otter and rare heaths to the north, conservation on a landscape scale. But also on the smaller, like this newly formed salt marsh, a rare and vital habitat. Already salt-tolerant plants like this sea purslane are returning. This is eaten a lot in Asia, but here they'd rather you let it grow. And sea spurry, a plant that's even cropped up on the edges of inland roads where they have been salt sprayed. Sea aster is used a lot in skin creams, but here these plants have a more important role. This stuff is remarkable. Growing fast, it sequesters carbon at a rate of 40 times that of land-based forest. But sadly, since the mid-19th century, we've lost almost 85% of the UK salt marsh. Thankfully, here they're putting some of it back. The wildlife are getting the benefit. This rock pipit is eagerly feeding in the mud held fast by the salt marsh roots. It's after small grubs near those roots and crustacea in the mud. Water rail emerge. They are usually pretty elusive, but for once showing themselves splendidly. A redshank is probing in the mud channel. It's picking up the odd small crustacean, when it's not dropping them. But every so often it gets a bigger prize. That characteristic head bobbing might be its way of judging distance and perspective. Its eyes are on either side of its head to watch out for predators, so it doesn't have the binocular vision we humans have. Now though, it's eyes down, looking for another juicy worm. And bingo. And this curlew is after the same. Sadly, it's a red-listed bird of major conservation concern as its breeding grounds are threatened. This wonderful place is an endlessly renewing muddy haven. Where the big roller flattened, worm-cast and burrow, the curlew now investigates a sticky wicket. The rules of the game are as clear as mud. As it stalks to crease within crease, the heartbeat of a clam, chug of worm, its beak all ears, nip and turn, winkling out, calling time on time. I'm coming to the end of a poetic odyssey that's taken in some of the best wildlife and most beautiful places the Southwest has to offer. It would be easy to be downbeat about the future prospects for nature and indeed humanity, to say that there's nothing that we can do. Many of the species we've captured over 6 films are in decline. Many of the reserves face long-established threats of development and overexploitation, and newer ones like climate change. Here, though, by people working together, they've achieved something remarkable, a beacon of how we might, as just one species on this tiny planet, adapt to the future by working in harmony with nature rather than against it. Whatever lies on the horizon, these reserves might just offer a simple vision of how good things could be.